All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery. We get together most weekday mornings at 8 o'clock Central to talk about the grant, to talk about resources from the grant, all designed around helping entrepreneurs access capital to start, to grow, or even acquire a business. Matrixfunding.org is our resource site. You should see that shared on my screen here before, and it is a good resource to go to regarding the grant. Simply put, this graphic at the top of the page kind of tells you what you get by participating in the grant. Get a free Shelf Corp. Well, why is that important? Well, if we want business funding, we're going to need a clean, compliant business entity. We recommend using the Shelf Corp for the capital raise, even for entrepreneurs that already have their own business. That concept is referred to as an SPV or sometimes an SPE, special purpose vehicle, special purpose entity, means the same. But the concept is if you're going to go borrow money under a special purpose Shelf Corp and let it have the debt, and then you can move that money, those funds, over to your other company if you wish. That way you're separating liability. So the grant provides the free Shelf Corp. Great start. We know that businesses need to have a commercial address. We know that not everybody has one, so we provide one for free. They just pay the mail 40. That's included. Thirdly, we want to use that Shelf Corp to go get at least 250,000. So really, there should be a little plus behind it. This is the minimum. The way the grant's written, we promise, we commit, we swear to help every grant participant get at least 250,000. And then we know sometimes, even though we're focused on business funding and business credit, which we talked about yesterday, but sometimes our personal credit isn't so strong. So we amended the grant earlier this year to include free legal credit sweep. So that's the big picture. You can go to matrixfunding.org and get more information. There's a training video. If you want to participate, crazy simple, you can click here to get started or click here to participate, means the same. We have an affiliate program at the bottom. But today's specific topic, let me scroll back up so we see that, is the 100% real estate financing program. Now, we've introduced this before and we've spoken about it some, but I don't know that, especially those of you that are referral partners, I'm not sure that you all are understanding how big of a deal this is. Those of you that are more sophisticated, more experienced in commercial real estate, you realize this is a really big freaking deal. But those of you that have not been involved with commercial real estate, I need to better, I want to better help you appreciate what you and I can offer individuals and how you can monetize it. So, the purpose of this simple graphic is to compare two different scenarios. We're going to compare traditional commercial real estate lender underwriting. So everything underneath this is are common attributes. Now I realize you might prove me wrong. You might say, "Oh, well, Bank of America doesn't ask for that," or Wells Fargo doesn't ask for that. But in general, what we're going to go through here is what normally is needed. And then we're going to go contrast what you and I offer to the marketplace and how much better it is for the client, the grant participant, and how much better it is for you. So let's start with how it normally works. So if you're someone or you're helping someone that's a small business owner and they want to buy real estate, maybe it's an office building, maybe it is an apartment building, whatever type of commercial real estate. So could it be an individual freestanding home that they want to use to list with Airbnb? Sure. So don't worry about the type of property, but the point is the business is buying it. It's a commercial transaction. How does that normally look? Normally, it would require the buyer to have 20 to 30% down. Normally, there would be a hard credit pull and also some minimum credit scores to get approved. Normally, the lender would ask for tax returns. Normally, the lender would ask for bank statements and financials. Normally, the lender would ask for a PFS to look at the net worth of the borrower. Normally, there'd be a personal guarantee required. Normally, they would look at the background of the business owner and determine do they have relevant experience. And this is a real kicker. We've seen a lot of people that met these other criteria, but with traditional lending, if you're getting into commercial real estate, often lenders are worried, well, is this your first time owning commercial real estate? What if you don't know what the hell you're doing? What if you screw it up? So some lenders require prior experience in commercial real estate. Now, again, I'm not judging this. I'm just giving you a synopsis of how it normally works. And then if you were to refer in to Wells Fargo or some of the even hard money lenders, you're typically, and tell me if you think I'm wrong, some of you are in this space, normally you would make usually 1 to 2 points for facilitating that deal. So let's start with my statements here. Does anyone have a material disagreement with the way that the market normally works for commercial real estate? Do we agree with this, or are there any elements that you take issue with? If you can type your response in the Q&A. And I don't mind if you disagree. Some of you have a lot more experience in normal commercial real estate than what we do, so that's okay. Is everyone on board with that? So there can be some little nuances. Maybe you find one that only needs 15% down or 10% down, but I think we're all in agreement. I don't see anyone disagreeing. So this is the way it normally works. So is that bad? Is that good? It just is what it is. It is what it is. So now let's compare what you and I, assuming that you're one of, let's shrink this down for a moment. Let's assume that you're one of our affiliates or branch offices, even better. In either case, we're doing a 50-50 revenue split. Doesn't cost anything to be an affiliate. Matrixfunding.org, scroll down, and you can click here to enroll. So let's say that we're in this together and we want to go help people and we want to make some money from it. So now let's look in contrast to what you and I offer. Now, if you're on the Zoom today or listening to the recorded afterwards, you're not a distribution partner, you're just looking for funding yourself. That's fine. We're not MLM, we're not network marketing, we're not Ponzi, but we do have distribution partners. Okay, so now let's go through and compare what you and I can offer to the marketplace. First of all, it's 100% financing. So what does that mean? 0% down payment. So instead of the borrower needing to get 20 to 30% down, now it's 0% down. What's the relevance of that? It's a big damn deal because a lot of people don't have the money on hand that you might have or that I might have. They wouldn't often be able to afford to get into commercial real estate if this was a requirement. Guess what? We've eliminated that. Big deal. Big deal. We're just on the first bullet, first check mark, but first bullet. So that's a game changer in the industry. That's very unusual. But we have a private lender that this is what he offers. And again, everything I'm telling you is true. We were so excited when we heard about it. We're taking advantage of it. And I've told you this before, but I'll say it again. We're closing on two, not one, but two commercial properties. Our closing set for the title company 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on Monday, August 31st, using these terms. So this isn't a what if, could it be, should it be, maybe it is. This is how it works, and we're doing it. You could do it, or you could help other people do it too. Okay, so 100% financing. Now, where it gets a little different, but there's reasons for it, is that when we use the 100% real estate financing program, the property is going to be purchased through the Shelf Corp. So the Shelf Corp is going to be the owner of the property normally. Now, if we need to try to work around that, we can ask for an exception, but that's the way it normally works. You might say, oh, no, I don't have a Shelf Corp. Well, we just covered a minute ago, unless you just came on late, we provide a free Shelf Corp. So that's not going to be a problem. So the Shelf Corp is going to be the buyer of the real estate. The Shelf Corp is going to be the owner of the real estate, but you own the Shelf Corp. So there's no funny business. You're the owner of the Shelf Corp. Shelf Corp owns the real estate. Make sense? In this case, and you can call BS or you can say that it's too good to be true, but I can tell you exactly how it's working because we wanted to walk the walk before we ask any of you to go out and take it to the market. So literally no personal credit check. Now, he does want to take a look at your business credit, which of course is through the Shelf Corp. And we just had a training yesterday on our new model of building Experian business. So if you missed yesterday's training, we discussed it. So that's part of the free resources. So you might say, oh no, well, here's the catch. I have to have good business credit. Well, yeah, you need to have good business credit. There's no cost for that. That's included through the grant. We had a detailed training on it yesterday, but it's the business buying the property. So yeah, that we need to dress the business up a little bit. You might say, oh no, well, how long is that going to take? Normally 30 days, we can get the business set up so it has a good Experian business profile with a good, it's called IntelliScore. That's its scoring mechanism. So not a long journey, not a problem. You might say, well, I need real estate financing right now. Well, we're still going to have to go do an inspection, and there's going to be that due diligence that has to be done that we can do concurrent with getting the business credit and the trade lines added. So shouldn't delay your close. Again, no tax returns required. Normally, that's a requirement. Here, not a requirement. No bank statements. You might say, well, how do you know this? We're literally closing on two properties at 4:30 p.m. at the title company on Monday, August 31st. So I know exactly how this works. This isn't of, well, I did a Google of how it might work, or I looked up Chat GPT, how could it work? No, this is literally how it works. So no tax returns, no bank statements, no financials, no demonstration of prior experience necessary. Here's huge. No PG. The business owns it. The Shelf Corp owns it. No PG. No PG. Interest rates. This is where you might not like it as much. Some of you are looking for lower interest rates. So let me ask you, it's a fixed, it's flat, it's set 7%. Do any of you have an issue with 7% interest? Do you think that's acceptable or too much? If you could respond in the Q&A, take a moment. But because this is what it is, it's just what it is. And if that's the deal breaker, we need to go into it because it's not negotiable. This is what he wants. This is what he wants. So anyone have comments on that? Acceptable, unacceptable? Because it is true. It's true that if we went over under this model, there's a reasonable chance that we could get a little bit below 7%. So I will admit to that. So is it high? Is it abusive? Is it predatory? I don't think so. I guess it's a matter of opinion, but that's what it is. And for you, if you're a referral partner, this is the freaking home run. 5 points. What did we say normally? 1 to 2 points. So we're looking at, double or quintuple the commission. So let's put some scenarios together. Let's go over here to loopnet.com. So here's where we can go find real estate for sale. So let's go do a couple what if scenarios. So let's look for an office building. Mr. Stewart, what city and state are you in? And I'll pull yours up. If anyone wants to put their city and state in, type it into the Q&A. It's like chat, and we'll look it up. It doesn't matter to me. But Mr. Stewart, remind me of your city and state, and we'll look it up for this little exercise here. Or I'm waiting for him to respond. We'll do Atlanta, Georgia, and then we can come back and look at others. We have Sandra in Fort Wayne, Indiana. All right, so we'll start with that. All right, Mr. Stewart's in Los Angeles. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. All right, so here are properties that are currently for sale. Maybe you'd want to buy them, but I'm not trying to sell you real estate. But these are properties that are for sale, and theoretically, as a distribution partner, we could let the seller of the property know that we have a financing program that might help them sell their properties even quicker. But let's go over. So let's say that you help facilitate this deal. That's a good looking building right there. So it's 111 Wayne Street, 9,000 square feet, offered at 1.3 million. That's a good look. 100% occupied, right? If you're going to buy some real estate, is this not the real estate you'd want to buy? One of the two properties that we're buying, which I told you over here. So the two properties we're buying, one of which is an office building, 100% occupied, profitable from day one. The other one is a storage facility, not occupied. It's all empty. There's no revenue from it right now. But if you can buy commercial property that is 100% occupied, you're going to be making money the first day. So in our case, and again, we're small fish. We're not probably going to do the deals like you would do, but we're going to close on this on August 31st. Guess what happens the next day on September 1st? We're out collecting fucking rent payments from all the tenants. We're making money in 24 hours. And of course, our first mortgage payment's not due for whatever it is, 45 or 60 days. But the point I wanted to make is this is just a random example. If you facilitated this, then you're making 5 points. So who can tell me, and I'll have to break out my calculator. I don't want to pretend that I'm that good at math without risking a mistake. If you were to facilitate this real estate transaction and you made 5 points, what would your commission be? Can anyone tell me? And you can probably type faster than I can, but I'm going to figure it out for you. Let's see if anyone has the answer right. Yep, Mr. Jones has it. Right about the exact number is $68,750. So he said 65,000, which he did quick math, which is fine. So you're almost at $70,000 commission for letting someone know, hey, did you know that we've got a grant? You can participate in the program. And with it, we can provide you access to 100% real estate financing. They get their Shelf Corp. We put together their uses of funds, which we've talked about in other trainings. We realize that they want real estate and they can get whatever real estate they want, of course. But let's say it's this real estate. You just made almost 70,000 for facilitating that one deal. So if we did that deal this month, let's say September, then why don't we keep going? Why don't we go facilitate it for more? So, of course, the bigger the sales price, the more your commission is. Here's an office park. Let's go look at it. It says income producing Class A park, has two different buildings. And let's see, 100% occupied again. Think about this. If someone can go buy an office complex that's 100% occupied, you're making money day one. And they're even showing you who the damn tenants are, who the tenants are. So let's say that you're an affiliate or branch office and you facilitate this. How much is your commission off this one deal? And I won't keep boring you with this, but let's do it one more time because, well, I'll get to the reason in a moment. So let's do that. Who knows what your commission would be if you facilitated this deal? Right at 100, and it's almost twice what we said before, 125,000. Realtors aren't making that much on the deal. So we'll go ahead just because Mr. Stewart contributed as well. So let's go back and we'll go ahead and do a lookup. Obviously, in Los Angeles, we're going to have even more properties, and they don't have to be properties in your geographic area. But the nice thing about Los Angeles is everything tends to cost more in Los Angeles. So the deals are bigger, so the commissions are bigger. So here we have, let's see, we have 6.9 million. I don't know how occupied it is. So just because it's not fully occupied is not the end of the world, of course. We can go find tenants, but I don't think they're giving us that statistic. But we'll do this last number and then we'll move on. So if Mr. Stewart, you were to facilitate this deal and we did 6.9 million times 0.05. Your commission on it's $345,000. So for those of you that are affiliates, sometimes affiliates like I can't find anyone that wants money. I don't know anyone that wants money to start or grow a business. Well, real estate's a really hot area, and you can find a lot of people that are interested in real estate. There's a lot of real estate for sale. We've got a really unique offering that can help a lot of people get real estate. And as an affiliate, just do a deal a month, very part-time, and you're going to make more than most of the doctors and lawyers and accountants in your town just by doing a deal a month. So this affiliate program, which is not my point today, it's a money-making machine. But some of you don't seem to be latching on to it. So hopefully you can take two things away from today's discussion. If you're wanting to make adult money in September, you've got the tools, you've got the resources. Come to matrixfunding.org, sign up as an affiliate. Maria is our attorney that manages that. She can help you, no cost now or ever to be an affiliate, and you can help people and make a shitload of money. And then, secondly, we have some unique aspects associated with our model, which is summarized in the blue box. But this 100% real estate financing is a big deal. All right, so enough of me talking. Let's turn the mic over to you. Who has questions, comments, concerns about our topic today? So if you're in the market for commercial real estate, be aware of the differences between the normal offerings in the market, which can have some variability, I understand, versus an option that you and I can present. If you are a distribution partner and you're not very successful right now in helping people, maybe this is a niche you could focus on. Real estate is a really good niche, especially when you target real estate properties that are making money day one. Because historically, we've talked about business acquisitions, and we could even debate that. Let's go back and let's pick a different property. Um, let's I wish we could find one that was 100% occupied like before. Let's see if this one is or not. There's 2 units. But the point is, there's a fine line between real estate acquisition and business acquisition. Because if you're buying a piece of real estate that is 100% occupied, you're really buying a business, right? You're getting the assets of the real estate, but it's money making because there's tenants that are in the real estate paying you every month. And it's so easy to get real estate financing because they're not marking up the price because of the tenants being in there. You're not really paying a multiple of future earnings the way you would with a traditional business acquisition. You're just paying for essentially the appraised value of the real estate. And when we have these attributes, anyone can do it. All right, let's see. I think I've covered what I needed to. Any questions, comments, concerns? All right, so Kenneth is asking just for a summary of what to do. So, what do we do? If we want to get funding to start or grow a business, what do? We come to matrixfunding.org and we come over here and we sign up. And then we'll work with you on building out your business credit. We'll provide you the free Shelf Corp. We'll put together your uses of funds. If it's for real estate, then great. So matrixfunding.org right here if you're wanting money to start or grow a business, regardless if it's real estate or not. That's scenario one. Scenario two, you want to get paid to help people, then go to matrixfunding.org, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and enroll in the affiliate program. I guess scenario three is if you're already signed up as a client or grant participant or as an affiliate, but you don't know what to do, you need help, you need support, no problem. Don't fret. Go to matrixfunding.org and call us. Call us and leave a message. Our phones are answered live Mondays through Fridays during office hours. and we will get the right funding attorney or paralegal to call him. KE asked a really good question about closing cost, and so that's a good point I didn't bring up. So let's go back to that, and then we'll pull up this. So closing cost can vary based upon traditional. What has your experience been, KE, on who pays closing cost in normal real estate transactions? KE, with your deals in the past, have you been able to negotiate that the seller absorbs those costs? Or have, in your experience in the past, KE, have you had as the buyer to pay the closing cost? Just curious, KE, how that's worked. And that's a question for any of you. We have 719 of you on. If you've done real estate transactions in the past, either for yourself or for clients, how did you see closing costs get addressed in your past deals? Was the closing cost paid by the seller or the buyer? KE says both. Yeah. And that's common where it's split 50-50. And that's in fact what happens here is it's 50-50 buyer and seller. So I know the answer here. To be honest with you, I didn't know what your experience had been over here. But that's a good point. Well, I guess we can bring up one other point. Let's look before we close. So we've talked about uses of funds a couple times. Let me show you our uses of funds intake form that we help each grant participant complete. I'll bring it over here and overlay it. So when individuals enroll in the grant, in the program, one of the many things that we do in getting the file ready for funding is we help them complete a uses of funds. It's a sheet, real simple, where we're allocating how they want to spend the money, what it's going to go towards. So of course, if they put in real estate, then we know that part of the money is going to go towards real estate, and then we get details from them here. The point is, even if we're going after real estate, so we could put in, let's say, $1 million for real estate, that doesn't prevent us from also going and getting some working capital. So we can have multiple categories. I should have put commas in so it's a little easier to tell. My point is, sure, we can go after real estate, but we can also go after working capital. And that's great. So now, if we needed money for any closing cost, if we couldn't get the seller to absorb it, then we can get some working capital to cover it. If we needed some rehab cost or just money for other purposes. So uses of funds, different categories. We help each grant participant fill it out. It's fine to fill in multiple categories. Let's say that you also want a company car. So for example, we have our company car. You can get a company car. Here's ours, McLaren, in front of our office. So let's say that, lost the page. Let's say that you want a company car too, in addition to the real estate. Let's see if I can go find where my uses of funds went. I just lost it. Maybe not. Well, I've lost that page, but the point, there it is. So we could also go get a company car. So I think that McLaren was 375. Oops, comma. So yes, we can get multiple categories of money in addition to the real estate funding. So that's not a problem. All right. Any other questions, comments, concerns that anyone has for us today? Ultimately, it's real simple, right? We need to go to matrixfunding.org, and there's really one of three scenarios. Either if you want to participate in the grant, but you're not in it yet, matrixfunding.org, fill it out here, or if you're referred by one of our affiliates or branch offices, of course, work with them. Scenario two is if you want to help people and get paid, go to matrixfunding.org and sign up as an affiliate. And then scenario three is if you're already an affiliate and or a grant participant but need assistance, then go to matrixfunding.org, grab our phone number, and call us. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back Monday morning. We'll be closing on our properties Monday, and hopefully, during the month of September, we can help you or your clients close on theirs. Thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.